The mayor of Vancouver wants Major League Baseball to set up in this city. Last night, City Council approved an expression of interest process to find a potential ownership group that will want to bring a team to the city. Here's what some people had to say about that.
I think it'd be cool to have another team in Canada because, I go to games in Seattle and it's fun to go watch Blue Jays, but there's nothing really that close to us. So yeah, it'd be cool.
I haven't been to baseball games in a long time, but if the opportunity comes up, I would go.
I did not know the city passed the motion, but I think that's pretty cool. I wish I could own a team, but I don't have that much money.
But you'd go if it was here?
If there was a team, I'd go a few times, yeah.
So would you want the city to have a baseball team? Like a professional?
Yeah, let's do it.
Wait, would you go?
Yes.
But you've never been. How about you?
Now I'm curious.
Sure, if the city had I'd go. Why not?
Yeah?
Yeah, I'd give it a try. Baseball isn't really my sport, but there's a sport for everyone, so.
Well, this comes as the Major League Soccer team here in Vancouver faces an uncertain future with financial issues plaguing the team and grassroots efforts emerging to keep them in Vancouver. So could a Major League Baseball team here actually make it? Patrick Johnston is a sports columnist for the province and joins us now. And Patrick, one of the reasons we have you on here is to kind of give us a little sober second thought on this. Mayor likes the idea. The people that we talk to outside the library like the idea. Is it realistic at all?
I don't really think so. I'll say, hey, it's election season. The mayor wants to have lots of good vibes going for him. It's a pretty simple question here. Major League Baseball has shown interest. They've said in the past they'd love to come to Vancouver, but we also know we're well down the list, and also, again, there's that little thing about needing a stadium.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go through a few basic things. Where would they play?
Well, it's a great question. Certainly wouldn't play at BC Place. BC Place maybe once was built to be potentially the home of a major league team. That's often forgotten. That was the original idea, but it's been renovated that you can't put a baseball field in there anymore. So you need to find something else. We're talking about maybe around Falls Creek. There's a couple spots there. Maybe you're talking out. We've talked about Hastings Park, obviously, with Major League Soccer. Maybe you're talking out in Surrey. But, in the end, that's one thing. You've also got to find someone with the money. And as it stands right now, there's a few people that are interested in having a team. They love it, but they certainly don't have the money. They need someone with money, and that is very unclear when that would happen.
Well, and so the other thing is you're talking about 81 home games that baseball teams play. Do you and maybe you need to average, 30,000 fans at least, 35,000 maybe per game.
Yeah.
Do you think this city is big enough and rich enough to support that?
That's the big question. That was the thing I thought of all those people that you guys showed off the top there saying, hey, I'd give it a go. Would they give it a go for 81 times a year? That's a lot. Think about it. People love going to Nat Bailey Stadium for our single A games here with the Vancouver Canadians. When they think of it, they think about beautiful days in July and August. They don't think about days in April right now. You go to the Nat right now, there's not a lot of people there, right? So that's the other thing. It's just the willingness to go. Also, as you said, like the corporate needs. The Whitecaps are up against it right now trying to develop other sponsors, other revenue streams. The Canucks still dominate when it comes to ticket sales and wanting to entertain clients and that kind of thing. Even if they're not playing very well, people still want to go see the hockey game. The idea of a baseball game, is that going to be something people want to do? And, is there just enough money in the system? And I'm pretty skeptical there is, even before you get to the idea, as I said, finding an owner, finding a stadium.
And here's the other side of the equation. Major League Baseball looking at the cities in North America that don't currently have teams, including Montreal, right, which is much bigger than Vancouver, has a rich history. Where do you think Vancouver fits in from Major League Baseball's perspective?
Well, you look at some of the other candidates that are there, and there's obvious reasons for them. Among them, the U.S. dollar, low taxes, Nashville, Portland, teams like that. There's even been chatter that maybe Mexico City. Mexico City is obviously a massive place, not high in terms of the average GDP or all the kind of economic measures, but there's a lot of rich people in Mexico City. Could they make Mexico City work? Certainly Montreal. If you're talking about a Canadian marketplace, I think Montreal is a way bigger fit. They basically have openly talked about dreaming of going back there one day. And as you said, the long history there. Vancouver, it would be lovely, but there's just so many things against the idea that, again, I just say that this is more the mayor trying to get some good vibes for an election that's coming up.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the Expos, I remember being at BC Place, watching Larry Walker play in an exhibition game, I think for the Expos at that time. It was fantastic. It was magical. You know, make no mistake, it would be great to have a team here. But Patrick, I love having your realistic perspective on how likely that is. Patrick Johnston, sports columnist for The Province here in Vancouver. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me again, Ian.